Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Wayne, author of Broken Ceasefire and Xander's Salvation. So in this video I just want to update you with what's going on with this channel and my writing career so far. I'll give you a little bit of a history about myself. Now, the first book that I wrote was Broken Ceasefire. Now, that was originally called Rakshan, and I wrote that over 20 years ago. It took me 20 odd years to figure out the self-publishing business. I mean, bearing in mind 20 years ago self-publishing wasn't what it is now by any stretch of the imagination. So I started writing many years ago, and I wrote the sequel to Broken Ceasefire equally about 20 years ago as well. It wasn't until I went through the editing process that I realised the name needed to change from Rakshan to something more relevant, and I've discussed this in a video, so that's how we got Broken Ceasefire. The gap between Broken Ceasefire and the sequel, the original sequel called The Escape, is too big. There's too many plot holes and too much of a gap between, so that's why I decided to write another sequel called Return Fire. So I'm halfway through writing Return Fire, but everything has kind of slowed down this year for one very good reason, and that is when I first started this writing journey and I wanted to be an author, and I still do want to be an author, I was kind of dissatisfied with work and pop culture in general, and I really wanted to make my mark as an author because I feel that I've got great stories that need to be told. The main crux of the matter at that point though was, and it is the same problem now, is I can't make a living off my books as they stand at the moment. I haven't got the audience, and I haven't got the enough content, book content, to sustain an audience. So the ultimate aim for me was that I would start the writing journey and become a self-published author and be very successful, and that would become my main job. That is still the dream, but when I was going through that process, I was in a job that didn't satisfy me. I just wasn't happy at work, and that really motivated me to knuckle down and write the books. Then of course we had the pandemic, which allowed me time to build up the self-publishing awareness really, and that's when I started to watch people like Dale Roberts and Jen Monossi. I know I've butchered her name and I do apologise for that, and various other people. It also put me in touch with people like Easy Graphics, and I'm really pleased and grateful for the friends that I've made in the self-publishing industry and self-publishing process. But what changed was this time last year I was stuck at home because of the pandemic, unable to go back to work, and I was in, not dispute, but I was in discussion with my employer at the time saying, look, I want to come back to work, I want something to do, this is driving me nuts. And I was effectively told to find something else, which I did, and I started my job where I am at the moment in January, and I just find it so satisfying and fulfilling that it has detracted from my writing. So I've had to weigh up really being, what do I do next and how do I go forward with the self-publishing business that I want to build up. One thing that I think has been glaringly obvious from my perspective is I don't have an audience. So what I have been concentrating on is social media such as TikTok, Instagram and YouTube to build up a presence on those platforms. TikTok is now in a state where I'm really satisfied with where that is, and people that follow me on TikTok will notice that I haven't been publishing as avidly as I would on there normally, and I haven't gone live as avidly as I would on there as well. Partly because I've been unwell over the last couple of weeks, but also the other reason is I've got a nice fan base on TikTok that is still growing, and it will continue to grow because I'm going to keep on doing content on there. But what I also want to do is switch my attention from TikTok to Instagram and just try and put out a few more feelers and stretch out for a wider audience and wider fan base. I'm also on Twitter, and what I'm going to have to do is rebrand my Twitter account and possibly my Instagram account to bring it all under the Sci-Fi Fans branding, which is my author brand, which I'm trying to grow and expand on. So going forward with this channel, because I haven't had a lot of news on here, I mean, when you're writing, you're just simply writing. There isn't much to say about that. What I'm going to do with this channel is, because I want to engage more with the audience that I have here, the people that watch these videos, we're all at various stages in our author career, I want to engage more with you. And I want to do that by going live more or less once a week. However, I'd like it to try and be the sprint process that I've watched other people do, such as Dale Roberts and Easy Graphics and Linda LaBrose as well. So I want to try and follow that format. So what is possibly going to happen first off is, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to experiment with going live, and you're more than welcome to join me on the lives, and we can chat about your self-publishing journey, where you're at and what are your goals. I'm not giving up on the author brand or the author dream, because it is literally within touching distance. What I need to do is build an audience, build a mailing list, and I need to be focusing more on that, which is what I'm going to be doing over the next couple of months. Going forward into next year, the sequel to Broken Ceasefire, I would aim to have that done by Easter. The third book in the series is already written, because I wrote Broken Ceasefire and the sequel at that time was called The Escape, more or less at the same time. So I've got that to just dust over, re-edit certain areas where I've changed parts of the plot from Broken Ceasefire, then Return Fire. So it just needs tweaking, but essentially the story, the meat is there on the bones, it just needs to be tweaked. I've also got another book which is ready to go, and I could release it now if I wanted to, and that's called Tango Squad. The reason why I'm holding back on Tango Squad is because I want to build my audience on Instagram and YouTube. And I also need to learn properly how to use Amazon ads effectively, because despite watching loads of videos on how to do it, I'm still not there. And there are various other tools that I need to learn how to use effectively. So I'm going to be doing a little bit more self-education, if you like, on those principles on how to progress and develop as an author. But in the meantime, as I say, I'm just shy of 100 subscribers, and I thank every single one of you for subscribing to this channel, and it gives me it does give me great pleasure to see the subscription base grow, because it means that I'm making content that people are finding worthy and enjoyable, and I really do appreciate that. And I want to continue on this channel, but as I say, going forward, I'm going to try and do some live sprints, hosting them myself here, and obviously as and when news pops up with regards to my author journey, I will be making those videos. The other thing that I'm going to be trying to do a bit more of is some more author interviews on here, because I find those really interesting, and we can all learn from other people, and that essentially is what this channel is all about. Me learning, hopefully you learning from my mistakes, and you can ask questions and that, and hopefully we can learn and grow together. That's the whole point of this channel. So there you go, that's I'm going to wrap this one up. Thank you very much for watching, and do leave a comment, you know, tell me what you think, and if you have any questions or queries, as I say, get in touch, and hopefully won't be too long now that I'll be able to talk to you on a live very soon. So take care of yourselves, best of luck with your author journey. I'm not giving up. I've just got to a point now where I need to focus on building an audience as well as the writing, so that's what I'm doing. That's why there hasn't been a lot of news on here, and I will see you in another video very soon, but I'll probably see you on a live much sooner. Take care of yourselves, and I'll speak to you soon.